Transcription, the process of copying genetic information from one strand of the DNA to RNA, is termed as transcription. यहाँ पर भी principle of complementarity governs the process of transcription, except the base pair. Now here we can see that the principle of complementarity is there, except the adenosine now forms base pair with the uracil instead of thymine. Now in the process of replication we know that एक बार वो set हो जाता है तो सिर्फ total DNA of an organism gets duplicated. एक बार process start हो गया तो पूरा का पूरा process complete हो जाता है when the total DNA of an organism gets duplicated. Transcription में क्या होता है? Only a segment of the DNA, only a small segment of the DNA is transcribed. Only a small segment of DNA. Now, why both the strands are not copied during transcription? That has a simple answer. Why both the strands they are not copied during transcription? Here पहली बात तो है कि दोनों strands, if both the strands अगर दोनों ही template का काम करने लगे, so they would code for an RNA molecule with different sequences. अलग अलग उनके sequences हो जाएंगे. If both strands they act as a template, they would code for RNA molecule with different sequences. Just see, the complementarity does not mean identical, and in turn they code for proteins, and the sequence of amino acids in the proteins would be different. So hence only one segment of DNA would be coding for two different proteins. So this would complicate the genetic information transfer machinery. And the second point is that the two RNA molecules अगर simultaneously produce होंगे और complementary होंगे to each other, so they would form a double stranded RNA. वो double stranded RNA बना देंगे, and this would prevent the RNA from being translated into proteins, and the process of transcription would become a failure. It will become a futile one. It will not be of any use. Now transcription unitic DNA में क्या है? It is defined by the three regions in the DNA. First is a promoter, a structural gene, and a terminator. Now here we can see that there is a particular process in defining the two strands of DNA in the structural gene of a transcription unit. Since the two strands they have opposite polarity, and the DNA dependent DNA polymerase catalyze the polymerization in only one direction, that is 5:3 direction. So here we can say that the strand that has the polarity 3:5 direction, the strand which has the polarity 3:5 direction, it acts as a template and is also referred to as, and this is also referred to as the template strand. And the other strand which has the polarity of 5:3 direction, and the sequence is same as RNA except thymine at the base of uracil, is displaced during transcription. And this strand which does not code for anything actually is called as the coding strand. So all the reference point while defining a transcription unit is made with coding strand. And to explain this point, the sequence of the transcription unit is represented here, that if this is the template strand, so that would be the sequence of the coding strand. Here adenine, thymine, adenine, guanine, cytosine, this is the complementarity of the base pairs is there. Now can you write the sequence of RNA transcribed from the above DNA? इस DNA से अगर हम उसको RNA जो transcription है उसको अगर हम लिखना चाहें तो what would be the difference here? Here we will write that only the difference of uracil will be there instead of thymine. This is the RNA transcript. Okay, you can see here at thymine, here you can see uracil will be replacing instead of thymine. So this would be the RNA transcript which will be taking up this DNA. Now transcription unit and the gene. Now, as we see in the previous slide first, let us just have a look at the previous slide. Now, what is the role of the promoter and the terminator here? So here promoter and the terminator, this is the last part. So promoter and the terminator, these are the structural genes in the transcription unit. The promoter is said to be located towards the 5' end upstream of the structural gene. Here it is reference to the polarity of the coding strand. Now it is a DNA sequence that provides binding site for RNA polymerase, and it is the presence of the promoter in the transcription unit which also defines the template and the coding strands. Now by switching its position with terminator, by switching its position to the terminator, the definition of the coding and the template strand could be reversed. The terminator is located towards the 3' end downstream of the coding strand, and is actually defines the end of the process of transcription. So there are additional regulatory sequences that may be present further upstream or downstream to the promoter, and that will be explained in the gene expression. That is generally explained in the gene expression. So transcription unit and the gene, you know that a gene is defined as the functional unit of inheritance. So these are the functional units of inheritance, and there is no ambiguity that the genes are located on the DNA. It is difficult to define a gene in terms of DNA sequences. So DNA sequences which are coding for transfer RNA or ribosomal RNA molecule also define a gene. But the defining a cistron, now we define the gene in terms of cistron. Now what is a cistron? It is a segment of a DNA that is coding for a specific polypeptide. The structural gene in the transcription unit could be said to be monocistronic, or it can be polycistronic. Monocistronic mostly in eukaryotes, or polycistronic, that is in bacteria or prokaryotes. Now here in eukaryotes, the monocistronic structural gene has interrupted codic sequences, and the genes in the eukaryotes they are split. And the coding sequences are expressed sequences which are defined as exons. These are expressed sequences, and the exons are said to be those sequences that appear in mature or processed RNA. मीन्स यही सीक्वेंस एक्सप्रेस करते हैं और ये अपीयर करते हैं एक मैच्योर डीएनए में. Now here we can say exons, these are those sequences that appear in the mature or processed RNA, and the exons, they are interrupted by introns. Now introns or intervening sequences, they do not appear in the mature or processed RNA, and the split gene arrangement further complicates the definition of the genes in terms of a DNA segment. So in a DNA segment, some parts they are expressed and some parts they remain as unexpressed. So monocistronic messenger RNA, it encodes for one protein. Mono stands for one protein, and all eukaryotic messenger RNAs, they are monocistronic. Polycistronic में बहुत सारे several proteins, and it is in generally in bacteria, chloroplast messenger RNA. Exons और introns की definition यहाँ से आप समझ सकते हैं that it's the portion of the gene that does not code for amino acid, and the part of the gene sequences that are expressed in the proteins, they are called as exons because they are expressed, and those parts of the gene sequences which are not expressed in the proteins, they are called as introns. They because they come in between the exons. Now types of RNA and the process of transcription. Now bacteria में 3 तरह के major RNAs हैं. These are messenger RNA, transfer RNA, and ribosomal RNA. All these 3 RNAs, they are needed to synthesize a protein in a cell, and the messenger RNA provides the template, transfer RNA brings amino acids that reads the genetic code, and ribosomal RNA plays the structural and catalytic role during translation. So there is a single DNA dependent RNA polymerase, that catalyzes the transcription of all these 3 types of RNA in the bacteria. RNA polymerase binds to the promoter. Here you can see here RNA polymerase binds to the promoter and initiates transcription. This is the initiation process that starts. It uses nucleoside triphosphate as substrate and polymerizes in a template dependent fashion following the rule of complementarity. Now, it also facilitates the opening of the helix and continuous elongation, and only a short stretch of RNA remains bound to the enzyme. Once the polymerases reaches the terminator region, when they reaches the terminator region, the RNA falls off, and so also the RNA polymerase, okay, they falls off, and what happens, this results in the termination of the transcription. So how is the RNA polymerase able to catalyze all the three steps, which are initiation, elongation, as well as termination? The RNA polymerase is only capable of catalyzing the process of elongation. It associates with the initiation factor. You can see here there's a factor, initiation factor and the termination factor, which are represented in the form of rho and sigma here. So these factors, association of these factors, they alter the specificity of the RNA polymerase to either initiation or termination. So in bacteria, messenger RNA does not require any processing to become active, and also transcription and translation takes place in the same compartment. So there is no separation of cytoplasm and the nucleus in the bacteria. So the translation can begin much before the messenger RNA is fully transcribed. So the transcription and the translation can be coupled in bacteria. But in eukaryotes, there are two additional complexities. In eukaryotes, we find that there are at least 3 RNA polymerases. Now, in addition to the RNA polymerase found in the organelles, there is a clear-cut division of labor. RNA polymerase 1, it transcribes ribosomal RNA 28S, 18S, and 5.8S. Whereas the polymerase 3 is responsible for transcription of transfer RNA, 5S RNA, and short nuclear RNA, small nuclear RNAs, and the RNA polymerase 2, it transcribes the precursor of messenger RNA, that is heteronuclear RNA. So the second complexity is that the primary transcript contain both the exons and introns. Okay, another complexity is there, both exons and introns, they are there in them, and hence there is a process of splicing. Okay, splicing, capping, and tailing, that also happens here. Now, what is that process? The introns, they are removed and exons are joined in a definite order. So this is how the introns, they are removed, and exons, they are joined in a particular order. And HN RNA undergoes additional processing, that is called as capping and tailing. Capping and tailing. In capping, an unusual nucleotide, that is methyl guanosine triphosphate. Methyl guanosine triphosphate that is added to the 5' end of the heteronuclear RNA, and in the tailing, that is adenylate residues 200 to 300 are added to the 3' end of the template in an independent manner. So it is fully processed heteronuclear RNA, now called as the messenger RNA, that is transported out of the nucleus for translation. So this is how it is completed in the eukaryotes. And these complexities, they are now beginning to be understood. The split gene arrangement, represents the ancient feature of the genome, and the presence of the introns and the process of splicing represents the dominance of the RNA world. So in recent times, we have understood that RNA and RNA dependent processes in the living systems, they have assumed more importance.